I'm Karen Long, Project Manager at the Iowa Biodiesel Board and the Iowa Soybean Association. I appreciate EPA hosting this hearing today. Today I will discuss several positive developments in EPA's supplemental notice and one primary problem. Starting with the positives, the proposal correctly characterizes several aspects of EPA's authority regarding small refinery exemptions. First, the proposal correctly acknowledges that EPA can and should make predictions about the number of small refinery exemptions it will grant in the coming compliance year. EPA appropriately proposes to change its formula for setting annual percentage standards to use such an estimate. Second, EPA recognizes that accounting for small refinery exemptions is consistent with its duty to ensure that renewable fuel volumes are met. In order to meet its statutory obligation of ensuring the annual volumes of renewable fuel are met, EPA must make sure that small refinery exemptions do not reduce those required volumes. Third, EPA appropriately recognizes that it retains the authority to adjust annual percentage standards after the November 30 statutory deadline if necessary, and without causing undue uncertainty for stakeholders, to account for small refinery exemptions. EPA should use that authority to account fully for the impact of all small refinery exemptions. Fourth, EPA recognizes that it can grant partial small refinery exemptions. EPA should therefore follow the Department of Energy's recommendations to grant only partial small refinery exemptions for certain refineries. Unfortunately, a core problem with the supplemental notice is that it is not clear that EPA will stick with each of those positive developments. The only piece of the proposal EPA has proposed to codify into law is that it will make predictions regarding how many small refinery exemptions they will grant for the coming year. However, it does not set in stone how they will make those predictions. This lack of certainty throughout the supplemental notice is problematic for the renewable fuels industry because they must plan their investments in advance. In order to justify expensive investments in new plants or infrastructure, the industry must know how EPA will account for small refinery exemptions going forward. But EPA's proposal does not provide a reliable basis for such planning. This is particularly true given that EPA has taken contradictory positions in the recent past. As you've heard, this uncertainty in the RFS is coming home to roost in Iowa. Iowa is the nation's leading biodiesel producing state with 11 plants, making about 365 million gallons in 2018. One of those plants has shut down, others are running at reduced capacity. Our state's soybean farmers are also impacted. When the plants produce less biodiesel, they're not buying products from farmers like soybean oil, and that harms the farm economy, which is already under assault. Meanwhile, the oil companies are reaping profits that should be helping the heartland. When farmers are allowed to participate in the energy market, the American economy wins. And let's not forget about the environment. As you know, biodiesel is considered an advanced biofuel by your agency because it achieves life cycle greenhouse gas reductions of at least 50% and up to 86% by some measures. The RFS has been one of the most successful bipartisan policies ever for bringing this green fuel to market. In the final rule, EPA should take steps to make its method of accounting for small refinery exemptions more concrete. Specifically, EPA should establish by regulation the details of exactly how it will project and grant such small refinery exemptions for all future years. Such concrete steps are necessary to enable the renewable fuels industry to meet Congress's desire for the RFS to increase production of renewable fuels. Thank you.